So, ending the casting session today with the first division of League of Empires, we have Royal Flushers versus Norwegian Bastards here. Arabia is Norway's or Norwegian home map, Norwegian Bastards home map. So let's see if we have some eventful games to expect here. This is the top division, and I'd say the average rating between these players is absolutely in the 1700s, and roughly the same could be said about Royal Flushers as well. I'm not sure about Rhea, don't remember the name, but they're all solid players in the well above the 1500 range and probably closer to 1700s overall. So let's dive into it here. We have HCFE, or Hoye as I'll be calling him, the in his preferred position here, playing as the pocket. Franks, conveniently enough, being Hoye's favorite civ as well. Amazing pocket civilization, maybe arguably some of the best paladins in the game, and strong scouts opening with extra hit points for your cavalry starting immediately from fuel age. And Hoye says it's their last Franks pick. You're only allowed to use each civ 3 times in the League of Empires per season, which would have to call for some civ creativity as the season grows close to an end. So last Franks pick for Hoye. Going to be no more cheap castles and strong paladins after this, but there are lots of other good pocket options, obviously. Hoye, solid team player, did break 2k 16 game rating not too long ago, so obviously very solid, and doesn't play nearly as many 1v1s as Logan and Kong Forever, but is still up there, especially as a team player. To the left side we have Logan here with the Chinese. So he's doing a good job at keeping the production going. He has gone into Loom, as you do with Chinese, lacking, starting with 0 food. So you need to compensate by keeping the TCBC resource in Loom straight away. But you also start with 3 extra villagers, and we see Plogan doing a heck of a job keeping force dropping and force dropping food to keep the villagers' production going. He's at 13 villagers, he's still keeping that villager lead with Loom over the others, meaning that Plogan here he is essentially 2 villagers ahead right from the very beginning here against everyone else. Chinese, absolutely justified to go straight archers with Chinese. You don't necessarily want to go for Drush or Men-at-Arms because you start with 0 food and less wood, so you'll be getting the barracks up a bit later, and you'll be needing to wait for a bit longer for food and gold to produce them as well. It is an option to go for the rush or even Men-at-Arms still, but I think the more reasonable play in a team game could be going straight archers. So on the right hand side we have Kong Forever as the Mayans. So Kong's overall gameplay is very solid, of course. He's dropping the barracks here now at 16 pop. May or may not have been taking that 10 gold. He only took 9 gold! So Kong... Alright, he seems to be okay here still. He still has 60 gold, so he'll be able to produce... Maybe it's minus longer lasting resources that bugs with me here. So that's a bit confusing. Anyway, Kong dropping the barracks at 16 pop means that he is going for the Drush opening with mines here. And I think it's a very good call. If you see the openness of Kong's map here, it's just ridiculous. He needs to pull off some early aggression against the opponent, not to fall too much on the back foot against enemy scouts or other kinds of openings here. First, Angry Housewife already on the way, together with the Eagle Scout here. Kong did... must have known that the enemy is around here. Yeah, thanks Kong. It's the resource a lot longer than it looks. Strange, anyway. So Kong going for the rush, keeping those 2 at home though? Rhea far from full walled as well here. Is playing as the Mayans. So the Mayans mirror on the right hand side. That's a mirrored play as well, with Rhea going for militia on their own. Bit later to the production, so this must have been a post-milled rush as opposed to a pre-milled rush as Kong is doing. So Kong's rush is effectively hitting earlier and will leave Rhea in a tough spot to defend if the militia aren't out in time here. But having army, it's 4 against 3 is soon going to be 4 versus 4 military here. And wherever Rhea's scout might be, if it has more HP, it could still take favorable fights here. We'll just swoop by the other civs quickly as well. 2, 3 militia decide to go forward maybe? Did Rhea not scout Kong's opening here? Must have known that. Seen the barracks, could be suspecting man-at-arms of course, but the Eagle Scout very much out of position in terms of Kong's military anyway. So, but Kong will run into TC fire here, so that's a drush with, oh, I'd say limited potential, but the Eagle goes down, but the militia are kept alive and will be idling the gold here. So still some decent early damage output for Kong here. Has to defend his home as well. We'll be losing 1 villager here, I believe. And looks like it's a very much mirrored opening on both sides. Plogan. Wow. Plogan is going, unless I missed some early action here, which I could have been doing with the barracks up. Plogan is actually going straight past castle here. But he may have been rushing as well, rush past castle, I'm not sure, I may have missed it. We have Britons with the double ranges though, so... Straight past castle age, if it is indeed that, is just going to give Plogan a huge early castle age spike here. He told us he has super map for it, and he does indeed. There's so little resources required to wall here, and seeing as Dan MT here with Britons is going for the feudal age aggression and double ranges here, this is great news for Plogan, because whatever he will be going into, which is likely archers or rather crossbows, he'll be with crossbow and bodkin almost before the Briton can do any damage to him at all. Kong still with 2 militia alive as well, so did somehow dodge the villager fighting here and keep 2 of them alive for some extended annoyment, but the same can be said about Rhea on Kong's side. 3 militia still full HP here. HJ sending in a couple of scouts here to help clean it up. Good job placing the scouts like that from HJ as well. Placed them under Kong's TC fire so that Rhea's militia can't escape and they're finally cleaned up. It's a bit unfortunate that HJ can't go straight on the offensive on either side here, but he'll still be looking decent here overall. 7 versus 5 military between the pockets though, and we have both pockets going for Franks here. So Nathaniel has the upper hand in terms of military production. But in exchange, spending more food, meaning that HJFE could go for an earlier castle age than his pocket counterpart, which is arguably a strong power spike to go into. Some very local walling for HJFE here, but from the looks of it, could still be able to secure the main goal over here. And will it be in time to keep the scouts out though? Oh, Nathaniel is turning back. That's good news for HJ because. Well, never mind. Here they come. Oh. So HJ with the scouts 4 doesn't have scouts to defend here. We'll have to rely on quick walls now. Maybe one tile here or something to. Yeah, pull some away. That works as well as long as Nathaniel can't block the villagers from moving in. 1 villager definitely going down here now. So that's a walling villager going down, leaving Nathaniel with the same villager count as Hoya now, but also rendering Hoya's eco, specifically the gold eco, idle right now. Rhea close to that cast age pick now. Let's see what Kong's situation is. Yeah, probably roughly the same eco setup for both Mayans players on the flanks here. Logan in the cast stage and with going for a bit of a boom approach here. Only 1 TC and no 1 range and boom. Nathaniel, I'm not sure what he's up to here. He's looking for places to hit, probably just run around and be annoying. Keeps investing into army as well to make sure that he can match HJ's, or outmatch rather, HJ's numbers here is 9 against 6, so HJ a bit on the back foot in the pocket position now. Cast stage on the way for both Mayans players as well. HJ even bringing in builders here to weaken Nathaniel Scout, risking a lot of idle time here just to make sure his economy can be freed up and the walling be completed here. Really weird pocket placement though so far off the edges here with the resources in the back, yes, but so far to wall towards the edge of the map. And even though Nathaniel has likely invested into more scouts than HJ overall, he is going to the cast stage sooner simply because of idling HJ so much on this side while being freed up at home to do whatever he pleases. Kong still forward with one angry stray, angry housewife here. Probably just scouting by now or looking for small annoyments here. HJ has 5 plus more builds. Yeah, that's true. Do you both have a wheelbarrow as well? Let's see. You don't have wheelbarrow though, oh yeah. So you don't have wheelbarrow, but you have 5 builds over Nathaniel, but you also got idle from its scouts quite a bit, so I think that builder difference for now is not in your favor. It will, of course, in the long run for the long run economy. Logan on the forward on the left hand side with the crossbows forward. Chinese in Dan MT's base before Britons, only 20% on the way for Britons, way more archers, sure. 10 crossbows against 18 archers here, but you are fighting with cast age units against field age units. You have more range, you actually outrange Britons, obviously with cast age over field age here, and some serious micro skills at work here as well. Logan debating this group of archers with just one crossbow here, and ready to proceed to Dananty's side to take him likely completely off gold. Off wood for now. Castage still not in for Dananty, not looking to right here. Whereas Kong and Rhea on the other side. Kong has the upper hand, military-wise has a few more archers. Look at these villager kills from Logan though. From the looks of it, he even has... he doesn't have ballistic. I don't know how he's doing this, but he's getting very many villagers off Dan MT here. Dan MT down to 36 villagers. Logan with his multiple TCs at 49 here, and Norwegian Bastards with a huge lead here. 28 to 8 KD here, and still a few crossbows alive forward here. Plus 2 Knights of Nathaniel will deal with that. But at the cost of Dan MT losing lots of army and lots of villagers, and the difference between the flanks on the left hand side now is just immense. Kong on the forward with crossbows with Bodkin here now, so HJ coming in with Knights as well, lacking that +2, but otherwise producing consistently, while Nathaniel is neglecting to do so. He probably has something to attend to, or is struggling for gold or something here. A little bit inefficient income, but there queues a couple more here. Kong finds a way in, now with 12 crossbows to start contesting the Mayans. You get 2 TCs for Rhea, whereas Kong is on 3. So Kong should, if he doesn't already, have a villager lead over Rhea. He does, he has a 5 villager lead, and that's just going to be extended through the coordinated efforts of Kong Forever and HAFE here, with crossbows and knights just roaming around and aiming for the early GG here, because there's so much damage being done on both sides here. Granted, Nathaniel hasn't been hit significantly at all, and but it's still lagging behind HJ's boom in the middle as well. And now, yeah, with both flanks incapacitated, there's not much Franks can do on their own anyway, because the lead is just going to grow for Norwegian Bastards here. Still lacking +2 for HJ, but as long as he has the numbers, which he does over Nathaniel on this side, he can still easily take the fights. So numbers matter as well, not only upgrades, obviously. Mayans, Rhea with 5 military only here now, 2 ranges total. University, he did go for that early ballistics after all, but with constant annoyance by Kong Forever and HJ with not too huge army masses overall, honestly. It's more than enough to idle Rhea just so much, 14 idles. Dan MT seems to be on the forward on Plogan's side now with Nathaniel though, so Plogan will have to stand a 1v2 here now. But he has TCs at the core resources here, means he can garrison and at least be safe from the crossbows specifically here, and his own crossbows will also deal with small groups of knights, no problem, even if they have +2. I decided to delay my +2/+2 to get better economy. Makes sense. It's a huge food investment to get the +2/+2, and still if you can keep the consistent production, it's numbers matter just as much as upgrades in some cases. And we're seeing it here, 13 to 15, but Nathaniel is on both sides currently, so Nathaniel will not have the same collected numbers as HA has had. Kong for 17 now, but both flanks of Royal Flushers lacking in numbers here now. They're falling real far behind in the military department. HA with some knights on Plogan's side now, and maybe going to go for a run on the armies on this side. Kong with his 4th TC now, playing full eco with Mayans here and setting up for the late game economy here. Could even consider going into Eagles for raids, but raiding will be HJ's job here, I'd say. He has knights and going to get to maybe to Cavalier and Paladin if the game goes on for long enough. Look at the collected villager count now, how many villagers they took off Rhea, Mayans with such a strong economy as they have, and also the military numbers, keeping them low for the Royal Flushers here. Dan and T can exploit the hill for a little while here now, but once the Knights of Nathaniel are gone, then Dan and T is yet again going to lose his crossbow numbers with great micro from Plogan behind here to take out the crossbows while HJ takes minimum losses to his Knights here. Quadruple TC room for HJ, whereas Green Nathaniel is only at 3. That's going to extend HJ's villager lead even more over Nathaniel here. And in long run, that is most likely going to allow HJ to get to, if not the Imperial Age faster, then at least the upgrades faster once the Imperial Age kicks in with Cavalier and Paladin and everything. None of them are anywhere close to the Imperial Age just yet, though. It's full focus on military and production here now, and it is the Norwegian Bastards doing their best efforts here to keep the enemy numbers at the minimum. Now even going for production here, right, from Dan MT, taking out the ranges, forcing Dan MT to use that 170 plywood it takes to build a new range. And that's a bit of an investment. That's 3.5 archers worth of investment or something. So if the range is going down, that's going to put Dan and T even more on the back foot here. While Kong Forever and Plogan have ever increasing numbers. Kong just now getting ballistics. He has had the university for a while, but he's been going for numbers and good coordination with his pocket, not needing ballistics necessarily until now. There haven't been too much pocket presence for Nathaniel on this side either. And Kong yet again is going to clean up some numbers from Rhea here. Mainly on his own here, just with a few Knights of HA to join in the mix. Rhea gets a sneak hit in there, but loses his Mangonel Knights. And overall situation here, Rhea never making it back into the game. And Dan and T subject to early castle age pressure from Plogan while still being full age were absolutely the key for Norwegian Bastards to win this one. You don't often see straight fast castle from flank in team games at this level, but this really paid off for Plogan. He didn't even need to go for a rush, he just walled off and saved all of the resources to go straight for Castle Age, and just look at the uptime here. 1539 with Chinese, with his opposing flank reaching it 7 minutes later. Massive, massive power spike there for Logan. Well, with that kind of pressure early on the Britons, HJ and Kong were free to attack on the other side and just go about it. So should be exciting to see the KD stats here as well. 77 to 55 for Kong. Logan with 68 to 33, so loses less than half of the units he actually kills. HJ with a positive 1 as well, as is usually the case for the winning team. Largest army, absolute domination for Norwegian Bastards for this one. So strong eco for HJ in the end. He did have that boom lead by far over Nathaniel, more than 50 militaries in the end. And we can see the army tabs here stronger, the darker one for Norwegian Bastards overall as well. GG.